Buddy, good afternoon. It's not Saturday and it's not morning. And so this is not the Saturday morning chill. And you know what? I just realized I still have these in. And that would mean that, well, it makes the sound really weird. So I'm going to go ahead and fix that while I'm waiting for all of you to figure out I'm live on a Thursday afternoon. That was not the plan. I spent a good 2 hours today, not quite that long, talking with Professor Adam Kuntz of Concordia Seminary in Fort Wayne. I was so excited about a bonus cast content that was going to be coming your way on the interwebs this week, whether behind the Patreon paywall with video or whether out on the podcast sometime maybe later this week or into next week as well. I was looking forward to giving that to you today, only to discover that the jerry rig I did to make the Zoom camera for me have to behave better than Zoom cameras normally do in order to get Dr. Kuntz in and have his video and all that. There's a setting on my soundboard. It's a little button. And if I leave it on, what happens is when I'm on Issues, etc., they get an echo, right? So I'm talking to someone else in a certain type of connection point via, internet yada yadas and recordings and sound smart wizard people. Somehow there's a recording, but if I flip this switch the other way, there's an echo. If I flip the switch the other way, there's no echo. But see, when I do that, when I have someone on Zoom, you hear my voice recorded, but you don't hear theirs. And there's no echo on Zoom, so I have to flip this switch over and over again, and it's down underneath my desk where I was trying to keep the computer station clean. I thought, well, maybe right down there, but nope. So long story short is we had a great conversation. I wish you could have been part of it. You can see the notes as the thumbnail for this video. I mean, there was a lot there and it's gone. It's gone to the wind. And so I'm just saying, I'm sorry, friends. Like that was the plan this week and oops, stumble and fall, but I can't repeat that. And so, Patreon Insider, this is your video. It's not very inside. I'm sharing it with everybody. I'll end up on the podcast as well. There was content and I messed up. So my hope is that I will fix the problem. Here's my other real struggle though. How's this for fun? So I know the problem is that button, right? So I need that button to be really visible and easy to get to. So I maybe with a sticky note that says always flick this button or check this button before you go live and record, right? Fail safe kind of stuff. To do that, I would need to reset up the desk station here, which I look forward to doing. I enjoy that kind of work, but see, I'm moving soon. I mean, COVID's made it a little interesting, but I'm moving soon, so I really don't want to do it all now. So that means I could accidentally make the same mistake in the next couple of weeks before it all changes. But let's hope I don't. It reminds me of the good old days when I would record, 30 minutes of footage to get chopped up into a pretty spiffy and funny 10-minute or 15-minute video. And I would go for that 30 minutes with all the energy and heart and pain and joy that I could, right? That persona that was there, which had elements of me, but also was a bit of a fake me. And then I would realize at the end of it, and this happened more than once, this probably happened annually, if not biannually, that I would get around to the back and say, okay, hit stop, and be like, it's waiting for me to hit record, not stop, right? And oh, it was all just gone, right? And we never missed a video in all those years. I don't know that we ever missed a video. I think I always redid it, but man, that's painful right there to lose that kind of content. And it was said to me once, and I didn't take it very well, but I've thought it since, and it was good advice. It was said to me, you can't fix stupid. You can't fix forgetful. It's true. You can't do it. What you can do is have other people who forgive you for being forgetful. Yeah, that'd be you today with me, as I lost that content and have to give you this instead, which is it's just not the quality of content that Adam and I were discussing, and we were talking about standing as Lutherans in an age of transition as society, defending the freedoms that we have with the resources that we have as civil Christians. It was really valuable stuff, and I wanted to listen to it again just to process it some more. So it's my apology for that. I'll have him back on. I mean, Kuntz isn't going to go away, and I continue to learn from him every time I talk with him. So I will get him back as soon as possible. And yeah, sorry, John the Sacramentarian chimes in and says sadness indeed. So what I was going to be doing right now, once I got all that stuff posted to you, so I could ease my conscience with you on Patreon who take care of me, was I was going to start working on some sound possibly for Saturday morning chill, and maybe getting this other little doodad over here working for scene transition so I could drop in like some spinners and trailers and things maybe, which may or may not be what people like, and we can test it and play with it. But I was going to test it a little bit. Like I talked about before, it'd be nice to be able to catch my breath every once in a while with a little 30-second something, and, music or something. So that's the goal this afternoon, although I also want to play with my kids at some point today as well. So I am going to not stick around. Thanks, John. You're right. Have you read a book called The Checklist Manifesto? I'm not kidding. Have you read it? I am a card-carrying member reader of that book, and checklists are amazing. Absolutely. The trick is when the checklist isn't an always checklist, but a sometimes checklist, and the system is not flying a jet, but just hitting record on your computer, sometimes the checklist just sits there and you don't look at it because it's all on automatic, right? So that's the trick. And for the creative professor you've got over here, whatever absent-minded professor you've got in me, as many notes as I leave myself, well, let's just say you don't want me running the checklist for that airplane. You probably do want me piloting the airplane in a nosedive to save us all, but you want someone else managing the checklist, right? And you get us together, the checklist guy and me on a team, we got a real superpower going on. But pre-flight checklist. The Checklist Manifesto is a great book, a great resource. I wanted to find ways to apply that to KFUO when I was there. Sadly, the situation there, that was not my role. And so I just kind of thought about it a lot, but I never really knew where it would work either. I just felt like, this could really be helpful. And so if you haven't checked out the Checklist Manifesto and you're suggesting people make checklists, you might enjoy the research in that one, because the bit about the South Korean planes crashing more often than other planes, and it's not because of who made them, but of who's flying them and how they fixed that eventually. That's interesting stuff. So, all right. So I am going to go see if I can really do something else productive in the long game this afternoon, which is what I was hoping to do. My apologies to you. I part of being a supporter, I'm talking to you Patreon people more than YouTube people right now. Being a supporter, for most of you who've been here long term, it means you get the warts with Fisk, and some of the warts are A, he messes up, B, he makes too big a deal out of his messing up and whines about it online. Right. So but it usually is built out of my desire to make good on the social contract we have with each other, which is that you come here for entertaining theological content that makes you think and reassess your real human Christian life. And that if you're a Patreon supporter, you're sending me money to encourage me to keep doing that for your sake. And I take that very seriously, right? So when I say I'm going to move to the Saturday subscription thing, but I'm not going to forget about midweek stuff, I mean that. And so, an hour and a half or 2 hours talking with Dr. Kuntz in video only for Patreon, that was the goal today. That was the goal, right? And I stumbled at the finish line with that, and I feel I owe you still for that reason, right? So that's the point of this video. For what it's worth, whatever, heart on my sleeve is what it is. You can't trust a screen anyway. Why are you listening to me talk? That was part of our conversation. There is no in-person conversation over the internet. You can know a person, but you cannot get to know them in person. And that's really an important thing to remember. And that the people who are in your house right now are in person, and they're more real. They're the vocation, the faces, the masks that God has put around you. So that's all pretty cool stuff. Is this Table Talk Radio the insult? No, this is me saying I love you all. Thanks for your support. Saturday is coming. That's what I'm going to be working on right now. I want to get beyond the realm of Saturday morning prep to Saturday morning. I do more than Wolfmueller anywhere, just so you know. Every time. Except maybe preaching, which he called me on last week. Saturday morning is what I'm going to work on now. We got some cool stuff. I'm looking at this master Buddhist monk who's 30 years old, is doing TED Talks that get promoted on YouTube. Fascinating stuff there. Got questions from you, but I want to keep that structure and that growth and that pattern of the SMC going, so that it becomes something that can compete with people who aren't already just kind of hooked on a Lutheran or a Fiskian, tangent. We want to be able to look like there's more behind this than just me. And that means every week I got to try to get a little piece of that. So today, that's it. I'm going to see if I can get some music into the SMC for this Saturday. It's all going to be trial. I can even tell you it's through a service called TubeBuddy that enables you to get a couple of other subscription services all for one $180 a year package, which mine's about to expire. It was very useful for recategorizing all the old Worldview Everlasting content to say, don't give money to us. We don't exist anymore. That was very helpful too, buddy. Thank you very much. Made that way easier than hand doing thousands of videos, right? So I can recommend TubeBuddy for that. I didn't know about many of these other features, including music you can use and download on your YouTube shows. Wow, okay. Well, I don't know if I want to buy that again next year, so I'm trying it out Saturday. I'm going to work on that now for you. And I hope the rest of what I've said today has just been a little bit of entertainment in the midst of, well, the end of the ages. They've come upon us, have they not? So why would you wallow in the muck with those who have no hope? We'll catch you guys Saturday. Rock on.